Boxing on a Budget is back. And today we're talking about head protection, one of the most important things when it comes to training, protecting that noggin. So let's get into it. Today we're talking about the Century headgear. You can get this at Dick's Sporting Goods. That's where I got it. Roughly $40, I believe it was. I got this a couple years ago. And I'm just now finally doing a review on it. I don't use this as much, and we're going to get into that. So first off is a open face style. I'm not going to review the style of it because that's personal preference. I've come to enjoy the cheek protectors more, but you have the open face where you have full vision, less protection. You have the cheek protectors where it protects a little bit more, and then you have the full face guard, but this is the open face style. It's the only one they had at the store. And we're going to go into how I acquired this, why I have it, and my thoughts about it. Okay, so first up, the strap that goes under your chin is Velcro. That's a good and bad thing. Because the headgear I use now is a buckle system, a metal buckle system. And I feel like I'm in between holes. So it's a little loose or too tight either way. So that's a little annoying. This gives you a perfect fit, but I've seen many times where Velcro on headgear just wears after so long and it doesn't stay. We have several headgear at the gym that are just almost unusable because of that. And then we have a plastic little loop here, which that can easily get broken over time. So not ideal. Just it's a cheap fix that they did, you know, for the price. And then you had like your little leather strap behind that, so you had double reinforcement there. That's nice, but still cheap material that's holding it in place. But you know, for most of your use, I think it will hold up. And just you will have to replace it after so long if this is your daily sparring gear. I want to talk about this is purely for sparring because this is not a competition headgear. It does not have the label on it, which personally, for me, a little bit of a drawback. I like to get the most use out of my headgear and get more familiar with what I'm going to be wearing in the ring. So I like to get competition headgear. But again, that's kind of preference. But for me, I would get something that you could spar in and something that you can fight in as well. It has to have that little USA Boxing official tag right there for you to fight in it. But let's talk about the padding. The padding actually is quite nice on the inside. Very comfortable on the inside. And it's like hard, like EVA foam on the outside. And it's very slick. Very slick. I actually do like the slickness of this because, you know, you can let punches slide off of you, which is nice instead of like those rough texture ones where the gloves might grip it a little bit. Now, what I do like the Velcro for is this back piece right here. It's really nice. I'm not a big fan of the laces on the back, even though my primary headgear does have laces. It's not necessarily a bad thing, just more of a hassle. But once you get them set, they're kind of set and good. But I do like that this is Velcroed. Just make things very easy. And if you need that quick adjustment while you're sparring, somebody could, from the side, ratchet you in place. Very quick, very easy to do. But you do have the laces around the crown here. Very cheap string. Like the cheapest string you could probably buy for the laces. But that's replaceable. You could replace that easy, just any string. Now I want to talk about the fit of it. How does it feel when you're wearing it? So to do so, I'm going to show you. Okay, so we have it on here. The impact is medium level. You still feel it, but it does absorb a little bit, but it's not the most absorbent when it comes to this type of foam. The feel of it, the cushion's all right. Again, not the best, but it's not a deal breaker considering the price. What I really don't like, though, is the restriction you get around the neck here. Because moving like that, I'm very restricted. Like, I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but my headgear that I have now, I don't have any problem with moving my head at all. I don't feel any resistance, any blockage from the headgear from that. And I haven't worn this in a few years, and this is the first time putting it on since then, and I forgot how restrictive it was, and I really, really hate that. Now that I have a better headgear, this feeling is probably a deal breaker for me. I wouldn't go back to this. The ears, on the other hand, have no protection around them. The placement of them, for me, are a bit off. They're pretty close. Like, my ear's in there, but my ear kind of isn't at the same time. But there's no protection on the actual ear, and getting hit in the ear really sucks. I'm gonna take this off. Also, with this, I feel like it makes your head a much bigger target. The profile of this is huge compared to the other headgears that I use. Like, yeah, any headgear is going to make your head bigger, a bigger target. But this, it feels massive. I also feel very derpy with it on. I don't know why I feel that way. The forehead is humongous, and I feel like it sticks out. I got this string right here. I feel like it sticks out a lot. It makes me look like I have a watermelon head, in my opinion. So I don't like that. Really don't like that. So, yeah, not the most comfortable thing to wear. Especially if you're doing it for long use, if you're doing a whole day's worth of sparring. It gets annoying. It gets very annoying. I didn't realize how bad this headgear was when I first used it, which I want to go into how I acquired this. I was tired of wearing secondhand sweaty headgear, so I bought this in a spur of the moment. I was at Dick's. I had to go to the gym later on that day, and I was like, you know what? I saw this. It's $40. I was like, I'm buying some headgear. I am tired of wearing that nasty headgear that has another man's sweat on my face. So I picked this up. I used it for a little while, and the reason I switched to begin with was my reason I said earlier. I wanted headgear that I can also fight in, get the most use. So I bought headgear that's competition approved, and since then I haven't gone back. I haven't used this thing at all. It still looks brand new because it just does not get used, and I would not go back. So this is like last resort backup headgear if I need it, or if somebody I'm sparring needs headgear, they get the crappy one. So would I recommend this? Now, it does what it's supposed to. It protects your head. It has decent, shock absorbing, like I said. But with the price, you can honestly get something a lot better for maybe $10 to $15 more. So my personal opinion, I would hold off on this. I wouldn't buy this unless you absolutely need a headgear like I did that day. You need it right then and right there. You can't wait for shipping. You can't wait until you get extra money. You need headgear. Then sure, it's going to serve you decently enough. It'll get the job done. But I would definitely hold off and get something a lot better. Thank you. If you enjoy this, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more reviews. Box on the budget. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Is it worth it? This, I would pass. But if you want to get the info on some other things, gloves, wraps, anything else, let me know. Or I might have already made a video on it. Go ahead and check it out. Until next time, I'm out.